Hey, Awakened Anesthetist! I want to personally invite you to Mindful Connections, a free 60-minute virtual gathering for CAAs, AA students, and prospectives. Our Season 5 theme is getting into the driver's seat of your life and career. Each Connections Hour is an invitation to step out of the rat race, pause, and reflect on where you're headed versus where you truly want to go. Together, we'll explore how to use your current or future CAA career to live a more fulfilling life, and you'll connect with a community that really gets you. Attend one or attend them all. This is a low-pressure, no-commitment way to reflect, recharge, and connect in the CAA community. Sessions run monthly alongside Season 5 of the podcast, which is September through March 2026, with times that fit a variety of schedules. So sign up through the link in the show notes to get the next Mindful Connections gathering on your calendar. I'd love to see you there. This Wellness Wednesday is brought to you by CAA Matters, the first comprehensive wellness and professionalism curriculum designed to truly support the AA student experience. We all know AA education is streamlined to produce competent providers in a fast-paced program. Meanwhile, wellness and professionalism often get overlooked, lumped in with medical students, or addressed too late to help. CAA Matters fills this gap, centering student anesthesiologist assistants and equipping them with the tools, resources, and mindset shifts to succeed in school and build long, fulfilling careers. It's a turnkey curriculum, fully prepared, facilitated, and supported from planning to delivery. Program leaders and AA educators can learn more, read reviews from early adopters, and explore piloting CAA Matters at awakenedanesthetist.com or by clicking the link in the show notes. Welcome, Awakened Anesthetist community. Welcome to my little meditation space. This is the same room that we were in last Wellness Wednesday. It's just turned around a little bit. I'm looking at my podcast studio, like over that way, and there's a guest bed behind me. This is not a big space. I'm like always in this room. I just like turn my focus and then I'm doing something different. So welcome in to my little meditation nook. It's not fancy, and for so long I had this idea that everything had to be aesthetic. And of course I had hopes and dreams of everything being aesthetic, but the reality is doing something every day or creating a habit is such a huge hurdle that if I had to have it be perfect every single time, I just would never have done it. And so this is part of that just raw authenticity of showing you all exactly what my own wellness journey has been like and sort of taking you along in real time. And part of that was just taking you on my afternoon meditation. It's afternoon here. It's a Tuesday. I had a wonderful day. Actually got up, walked my kids to school. My husband and I walked back then on our own and kind of had a nice chat. I went to yoga. I made myself a delicious breakfast sandwich on these croissants from Costco that we got, which were amazing. What else did I do? I got a coffee from my local favorite coffee spot. It is a large iced oat milk latte with double shot of decaf and then add an extra shot of regular espresso. And then half sweet of their homemade pumpkin spice sauce or sweetener, which was very, very yummy. So I had that. And I wanted to have another Wellness Wednesday. I'm really trying to, again, just show my absolute realest self in these videos. And if you're watching on YouTube, then you saw that the first half of this video was actually a real-time meditation, and I kind of walked you through my routine and what I'm doing. So if you are listening to me right now on a podcast, you can go over to YouTube and see the first 20 minutes of the video is a meditation, and then just follow along the rest of the way from there. But yeah, welcome. I think I've said that, but I'm so happy you're here. Today, I wanted to talk about this concept that really took me many, many years to understand. And I had people from different areas of my life sort of saying this concept. And so this is what I wanted to talk to you all about today, in hopes that maybe having a CAA share this concept with you is lands maybe a little deeper, and maybe you can kind of pick this up and run with it faster than I was able to. But the concept is that as a CAA, as an SAA, as a pre-AA, you can do anything, but you cannot do everything. So, as a member of this CAA community, I know you and I know that you can do anything, but you cannot do everything. And this idea, this concept, this sort of almost negative belief, or it feels negative, especially in the moment when you have so many good ideas, you have so many big plans, there are so many beautiful things that you know you can do as a highly capable, highly productive, focused, intentional, super smart person. You have been able to do so many amazing things, and our culture has rewarded that. And often it's that exact attribute that has gotten you into AA school, has gotten you landed your, most amazing career as a CAA, taken you wherever you wanted to go as a CAA. And so when you start thinking like I did, gee, if I pull back a little bit on being a CAA, what's left? And I kind of got quiet and started to get all these ideas. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, this CAA profession has created this sense of stability and safety that I could really expand and do a million other things. And doesn't this sound fun? And like, oh, now I want to do this and do that. And at one point, I thought I was going to be the hot fudge queen of the universe. So before I was able to leave my full-time job for my dream initial part-time job, I really, really wanted to have some other passion in my life besides just giving anesthesia. And so I ended up creating an FDA-approved version, like a bottled version of my family's hot fudge sauce that I grew up eating, which is freaking phenomenal. Like, it absolutely is the best hot fudge you'll ever have in your life. And I did all the steps, created the business, the LLC, got it FDA approved, and like was about to put it on store shelves. I was in a commercial kitchen for like 6 hours every week, making hundreds of jars of hot fudge by myself, labeling it, filling it, making the hot fudge, sterilizing all the jars, like the whole 9 yards. And then I ended up getting my dream part-time job at the time. And I was like, well, I did this. I wanted to work part-time so that I could find other aspects of myself. And I thought I would need the money from selling this hot fudge in order to do it. And then my part-time job ended up giving me enough money where I didn't have to sell the hot fudge in addition. And so I was like, well, this is sort of taking up a lot of my life, and it's like taking up a lot of my bandwidth. And so I sort of let the hot fudge dream go. But that was like 2 years of my life. That was like 2017 to 2019 when I finally left my full-time job. And really understanding, if I can go back and tell myself, that 2017 self, like, hey, you can do anything. You're so capable. I know that you can be the hot fudge queen of the universe if you want to be. But stop, pause. Do you really want to be? Like, what is at the root of what you're really wanting? I had always had success by pushing and going and harder and faster, and and I had reward from that. I got an FDA approval for this hot fudge. But then at the end of the day, I realized like, oh, that takes so much from me. That's not actually what I was chasing. I just was able to do that. It was like, if anyone's familiar with like the zone of geniuses, it was like my zone of excellence, but it wasn't my zone of genius. And so I wanted to just introduce this concept that kind of can lay over the grief, truly the grief that is there when you think, well, how do I let these dreams die? Like, how do I walk away from all these possibilities? And maybe you're facing this right now as an AA student. So like maybe you're having to walk away from relationships and friendships in a way that feels really awful, like really full of grief. And you're like, why can't I be in AA school and also cultivate, really connected, dense friendships? And I would say something that's really helped me cope with that level of grief that comes in the statement, Mary, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. You have to pick. And to know that when I say yes to something, it closes a bunch of other doors. There's a bunch of other no's that follow that yes. Because when I say yes, and I only have so much time in the day and so much energy and bandwidth, other things that come up, and I would also want to say yes to those, I now have to say no. And that sucks. Like, that is a really hard life lesson. But this concept that there are seasons to life has really eased some of that grief for me, that I can more appreciate that I'm in a really beautiful season. Like, let's use my life right now. I'm in a really beautiful season where I'm able to live very slowly. It's like a Tuesday at 1 p.m., I think, right now. And I told you what I did this morning, and that has been such a dream experience. And being able to record this YouTube, and like showing a meditation and then having this chitty chat with you all has been what I want. Like, I want this level of connectedness by just showing my truest, realest self. But this is not a season for me to be aesthetically pleasing. Like, if I want to show up as I truly am, I couldn't have spent 2 hours getting the room ready and putting on makeup and like wearing something cute and like getting a background and all the things, because then I wouldn't have been able to go to yoga, and I would have been stressed when I was walking my kids to school, or I would have just been like, oh, I don't have time to do that, take the bus. And so there had to be things that I say no to because I want to say yes to this right here. Like, I want to say yes to this community and to this level of bringing you in to my world, because this is what I was craving when I was going through my own transitions, when I was in the heat of, I can do anything, why can't I do everything? And it was just so hard for me to accept the grief. I just thought, well, I can find a way around it. There's just something I'm missing. There's something I'm not thinking about. Oh, I could, maybe hire some more help, or, that there has to be a way that I can hold all of this big dream. And the truth is, I can have a big dream. I just have to have it in seasons. And that has eased carrying the amount of grief that reality entails. That, like, okay, this is the season right now for building Awaken Anesthesiologist in a really authentic way. And my kids are little, they're all still in grade school. And, having that time with them in the morning is so precious to me and just fills me up so deeply that I don't want to give it up for more money, or, by working in the operating room when I'm gone before they wake up, or knowing that me being home and not being in the operating room and pouring into Awaken Anesthesiologist means that I've also lost skills as a CAA. Like, I could not at this moment walk into a cardiac case and feel comfortable. I also at this moment, like, again, have a home that's not super aesthetically pleasing. Like, there are crayon marks on the walls. There are door dings. This is a lived in family home. This is not the home of my dreams. Like, when I was 10 years old thinking, oh, I'm going to have this big, beautiful house and everything's going to be white and aesthetic. Like, that's not my reality right now. And there was grief to that, to knowing that I can't have it all right now. But this idea of seasons has really allowed me to feel, see the beauty, feel the gratitude in the present, and then just be like, hey, that's future. We can have a big, huge home remodel when the kids are out of school. And, I'm a decade and a half into Awaken Anesthetist, and it's shifted, and I have more time to focus on, like, making my home be this dream home. And, like, won't that be great too? Like, that will be great then. I just can't have that now. So I wanted to share a few more things. I actually worked yesterday. So today's Tuesday. I usually work in the operating room on Thursdays, PRN, at a large academic hospital in Kansas City. But they sent out an SOS text the other day, like on Sunday, I think, and said, or maybe it was Saturday, like, hey, can anyone work Monday? And I actually was able to, so I decided to say yes to that opportunity. And the one good thing about waking up at 5 a.m. is that the house is completely quiet. And I knew I wanted to talk on this idea of seasons and accepting the grief of not being able to do everything I want right now. And so I made a little list of all the things I also can't do right now in my planner. So let me find it. Okay, this is what I can't do, and maybe I want to revise this and say, like, this is a season that does not include. So this is a season that does not include international family vacations, which we also are wanting to take one to Hawaii, which is about as hard to get to as an international trip. And this is just not the season for that. There are a lot of reasons that this is not that season. This is not the season to be able to put out one podcast episode a week. I know that's the sort of gold standard in the algorithm of podcasting, and this is not the season for that for me. This is also not the season where I can save to the max in my 401k. I saved to the max from like 24 years old when I started as a CAA to probably 34, so maybe a decade before I started pulling some of that money back to save it to begin to transition into going part-time. And I have not yet been able to go back to putting my maximum in a 401k, which I would eventually like to do, but this is not the season. I don't have the money to do that right now. I already said this is not the season for a perfectly designed aesthetic home, or to have a clean home all the time, or decluttered or scratch-free or crayon-free home. This is not the season when we can have made-for-scratch meals every day. Food is probably the thing we spend the most money on. It's very important to my husband and I that we eat really yummy, nourishing food. And if we could have a home-cooked vegan meal every single night, that would be what we want. But this is not the season for that. I already told you this is not the season for me to be the hot fudge queen of the world. And maybe it will be one day, because I'm telling you, this hot fudge is legit. If you know, you know, but this is not that season. And I also put, this is not the season for me to be able to do everything I want to do within the CAA wellness world. There are so many things, including starting a wellness subcommittee, which is something I am trying to do right now, but has not started yet. But I have submitted the initial proposal to the Quad A. But there are just so many other things in this CAA wellness space that I really want to give to us. And this is not the season to do all of them. I have chosen Awaken Anesthetist. I have chosen CAA Matters, which is that wellness and professionalism curriculum that is currently for AA students and pre-AAs. And that's the way I can contribute right now. But I had to let the 40 other things that would be great ideas and I could do go, because this is not the season for them. Because again, I can do anything, but I can't do everything. So I hope this little chat helps you on your own journey. If you are trying to get into AA school, this is very, very relevant to you picking a career and feeling really confident that, okay, I'm going to want to be a CAA forever. There's this huge upfront investment. And then how do you ensure yourself that you're going to love it forever? And, while I do tell every pre-AA, it's totally worth it, this profession is the bomb. There is grief in knowing that you could do all this work and not get in, or you could do all this work and not love it the way that I love it, or the way that you think you're going to love it. And that's okay. You have to choose something and move forward and let all the other options go. And at the end, you're going to know, or you'll have a great career for 20 years and then pivot like I've been doing, out of the OR full time. And it's just that acceptance of the grief, I think, that really tripped me up for years and years. And knowing that life has seasons for everything has really helped me move forward, even though that grief is still there, but move forward in a way that I can still feel good. So, all right. Thank you so much for being here. Again, tune in on Wednesdays for these shorter Wellness Wednesdays. I loved this little setup. I loved kind of feeling really good and comfortable with you all. So let me know how you like these Wellness Wednesday episodes, and if there's another topic that you want to talk about. Also, these are really close to the type of connection and sharing that we do in Mindful Connections, which is a free 60-minute virtual community gathering for anyone in the CAA community. So pre-AAs, SAAs, and CAAs. In season 5, so they run alongside the podcast, like every season of the podcast. And in season 5, our big theme is getting into the driver's seat of your life. We've already discussed topics like jealousy and finances. And so I really encourage you to sign up. You'll see me like kind of blasting them on my website and Instagram, but they're a really great way to just have really honest, authentic conversations just like this inside the CAA community where people get you and understand what you're going through. And you can just show up as you are and have a great conversation and then just kind of go about your way. So anyways, these episodes are my heart and I hope you all are enjoying them. So, all right, I'll talk soon. Thanks for listening to Awakened Anesthetist. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a CAA friend, an AA student in your life, or a prospective, and let them know why you loved it. It's the most important thing you can do to support this podcast and its mission. You can always find more ways to connect with me and this CAA community at awakenedanesthetist.com, including an invitation to join Season 5 Mindful Connections. These are free virtual gatherings open to anyone in our Awakened Anesthetist community. And while you're scrolling the website, check out my trusted CAA partners who make this podcast possible, with a special thank you to my Season 5 sponsor, Harmony Anesthesia Staffing. Talk soon. Thanks for listening to Awakened Anesthetist. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a CAA friend, an AA student in your life, or a prospective, and let them know why you loved it. It's the most important thing you can do to support this podcast and its mission. You can always find more ways to connect with me and this CAA community at awakenedanesthetist.com, including an invitation to join Season 5 Mindful Connections. These are free virtual gatherings open to anyone in our Awakened Anesthetist community. And while you're scrolling the website, check out my trusted CAA partners who make this podcast possible, with a special thank you to my Season 5 sponsor, Harmony Anesthesia Staffing. Talk soon.